Hey there guys, I am Diana, and I am just taking a little break at my job right now and thought that I would talk to you guys for a little bit. So this is going to be my first of many videos, and I just really see that one of the greatest needs for our community is just the emotional and mental support. That's really the top need. Of course, we all need help in advocating. We need help in finding information and networking, but the ongoing need really is the support that we need. We just need somebody there who really gets it. We need somebody there who can encourage us to go on and to continue in the journey. So that's all I just wanted to say for today. I started this group, I think around 2013. I don't really remember when, but I'm going to tell you why I started this. I mean, there were a lot of reasons, but what prompted me to start this group was I had gone through a lot of situations with my son. I have a 24-year-old son, Daniel, as many of you know. He has a brain injury. He has autism. He is on the autism spectrum, and he has ADHD. He has seizure disorder. He did have he did go into something called status epilepticus at the age of 18 months, which caused him to sustain a brain injury in the right hippocampal of his brain. So he's kind of a mixed bag, and he's doesn't really fit, as many of our children don't, into a specific category, because a lot of our kids have multiple diagnoses. I have two other children, two daughters, subsequently, one 22 and one 18, gonna be 19 actually in a week, or a couple of weeks. And I am married. We'll go into some videos about marriage and relationships and the strain and the stress that it puts on family. I have a lot of vision for this group, and I have never shared videos like this before. So I'd like your feedback. I'd like your comments. I really want to hear from you guys. Would like to know how we can better serve you. I wish I want to tell you a whole lot of things, but I don't want to be overwhelming on this first video. My first video, I just really want to be there to say that there's somebody out there, that there's a number of us, there's a proud family around the globe that is uniting and growing, and we are going to be there for each other. We are there for each other, and we get it, and we know that our time is limited, our sources, our resources are limited, but we are heart to heart connecting, and we are thinking of one another, and when we're going through those roughest moments that only we can understand, we know that there are others out there doing the same, and somehow that gives us the strength to go on. I was talking to a couple of people this week, and it happens all the time, and they ask, how's your son, how's everything going, and you tell them about how things were or whatever, and they just kind of like give you this blank stare, like, you really must be exaggerating. Or they just don't get it, or they don't know where you're coming from. It's just so hard, and that's understandable. How is somebody going to know what it's like to raise a child with disabilities, with autism, or with cognitive and intellectual delays, and all kinds of complex behaviors and disorders? It's just, there's just so much that goes with it that only we can get. It's like, it's like trying to understand somebody who has an amputation, or somebody who has to live with, who goes to war and comes home, and what that was like. We need people who really get it. So that's why we're here. We're here to support the family, and we're here to uplift and encourage and strengthen and help you in whatever way we can. And we're going to help one another. But how I started this group was, I was told, as we know, we are constantly handed packets of paper. We are constantly given things we need to do. We know this is another job. This is another full-time job. The paperwork alone is a full-time job. Caretaking, caregiving is more than a full-time job. And the toll that it takes on our body, mind, family, soul, our entire being is without words. You just don't know how to explain that. But I was told that I had to get legal guardianship for my son. When he was 16, the school called me, and one of the many calls they would give me. And they said, you have to get legal guardianship for your son. Did you know that? And I said, no, I didn't know that. What is that? I don't even know what that is. And, I mean, obviously you know what it is, but I said, you're kidding me. And they said, yeah, if you don't get legal guardianship, the estate is going to have jurisdiction over his decisions, and they're going to, make medical decisions for him, and a whole bunch of other things. And I said, no, of course, what do I do? Well, you need to go to a lawyer and, find out how you get it. So that's it. Nobody's holding your hand in this process. So I called a bunch of lawyers, and they told me it was going to cost somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000 to do this. I live in New York. I live on Long Island. And this was, I want to say, so probably 7 years ago, something like that, or more. So I can't imagine what it costs now. I don't even know if there are resources to help us do this without the cost. It's one of the things we've got to help all of this community to do. Well, I was so livid at that. I can't even tell you. And I was up to here. I was up to there with my journey, and I just said, there's got to be just hundreds of thousands of families out there that are going to go through this, and they don't have the money to do this. And how are they going to go? How are they going to do this? The paperwork is so hard. The caring is so difficult. There's so much stress. And then they got to come up with $6,000 to gain just to have guardianship of their own child. That just made me so upset and angry. And I said, I got to connect with these people. And that's what made me start PROWD, among many other reasons that I'm going to share. And but that was like the straw that just broke the camel's back. And that was, and I want to give a shout out to my friend Marie, if you ever watch this. And she doesn't have a child with disabilities, but she just gave me the encouragement that I needed at the time to encourage me and help me to just get motivated to start this PROWD group. And I just want to thank her for that. I'll always be grateful for that. And she's just a lifelong friend, heart to heart, buddy, pal. I grew up with her, and I just appreciate so much her encouragement in my life. So that's what prompted it. And now we are global. I mean, PROWD has touched every corner of the earth, and we're going to try to move forward and just fortify this group. So always want to hear from you guys, always want to know what we can do to help support you. And our team is growing. We are working on a website, a logo, and we are also just trying to expand where we can make things easier to try to get help out to you guys and support. But I did I threw out a couple of questions to you guys and asked you what was most important to you, and it just seems unanimously that emotional and mental support is really the greatest need of this group, and I totally get that. I probably could have guessed that. The isolation, I remember going to school events, and the isolation, just not fitting in, not feeling like you make all these different meetings because you just can't be in two places. The separation from normalcy, and knowing, like, being a soccer mom or somebody who is at gymnastics and spends so much time doing what normal families do. We're not normal, and we are not typical, and we get that. We understand what that means. I try to explain to people sometimes what it's like, and there's just I remember trying to tell my family, and they kind of looked at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or you talk to a friend, and they just kind of look through you, and they don't know where you're coming from. And, your kids get it. The siblings, they get it. And that's another burden that I really carry. Carry for families is the siblings. They need ministry. They need support. They need resources. They need to be understood. They are invisible children. Not really, because I know that you moms and dads can get it, that your heart carries heaviness for those siblings, because you know what they go through, and you know how your heart is torn because you want to be there more for them. and you're exhausted, and you're dragging, and you're barely surviving. Sometimes you feel that you're drowning, and almost sometimes like you can't even breathe another breath. I get it. We get it. And your heart is breaking when you get in that bed at night and you barely get, your kids tucked in, and you barely get the dishes in the dishwasher and the laundry in, and the paperwork is still sitting on the table because you got to get it to the school tomorrow, and you have a list of phone calls to make, and forget about if you're working too. And you're just thinking of those other kids, the other kids that you have, and your heart is breaking and hurting and painful when you lay your head on the pillow. You just never stop worrying about everybody. I get it. And I just want you to know that that's why we're here. So, I know I've kind of been all over the place, but I just wanted to make a connection with you guys and just put a face to the name, and just say how proud I am to be, and honored to be connected to you guys as a family. And I just feel such a heart-to-heart connection to so many of you, and I know your names. I know so many of you now. I'm grown to know your children. I love posting. We love to post pictures of your kids. If you could do me a favor, when you want a picture posted, please send me a very crisp, clear picture of your child. I love pictures of you guys with your kids, parents with their kids. It's hard to post a picture that is blurry or doesn't fit quite. Sometimes they don't fit right for Facebook, but love to put them out there. They're just beautiful. And also, I do get, occasionally I do get, notifications from you guys to please take your pictures down, and I don't mind doing that. I just have to find them once they've been posted, because you have, for one reason or another, for personal reasons, don't want the picture posted anymore. But that'll be like maybe 5 years ago that I posted a picture for you. So that's a little bit difficult, but I think so far I have been able to get every picture down that you guys wanted taken down. It's only happened a handful of times, but I know that can be an issue. So if you're gonna if you want us to post a picture, we'd love to. Just keep those things in mind. So this is just a quick starter video. I'm going to be connecting with you guys. I'm gonna do some videos with my son Daniel, and I would love to hear from you and just get your feedback. And I just send you my love. Proud family. So glad to know you guys and be connected to you guys. And I will send another video soon. God bless.